South Korea is a country famous for its school movies. In South Korea, school violence is so serious that movies have enough material, enough true stories to exploit. The Glory is not an exception when it also chooses this hot topic to make a movie. But what the film did was beyond initial expectations. 8 episodes in a row, one by one, The Glory has shown us a realistic view of life, expressing them in the most naked way. Then the film beat countless other movie names, rising to the top 1 of Netflix worldwide in the international movie category. It is still ranked in the top 10 of 62 countries. So, is The Glory really any different, and is it really that attractive? Watch today's video to see what's so special about the movie. Glory is a recent Korean high-quality revenge drama series. Standing behind the successful work is none other than Kim Eun-suk, a scriptwriter who has been successful with a series of works such as Lovers in Paris, Lovers in Prague, Secret Garden, Gentleman's Dignity, Descendants of the Sun, The Heirs, Goblin, and Mr. Sunshine. In the past, the story of bullying at school was understated, built in a positive direction when students met good teachers. But with The Glory, violent behavior is also abetted and covered by teachers, parents, and police. From the script, the cast, the cinematography, the editing, and the soundtrack, etc., are all excellent. Therefore, The Glory's achievements are well-deserved. Moreover, the film also conveys meaningful messages and heals the suffering of those living in poverty. The Glory exposes the pain of school violence and the injustice of the law. The script is built to depict the inner life and life of each character. During his school days, Moon Dong-eun, played by Hye Kyo, had to live days like hell when being tortured both physically and mentally by a group of students played by Park Hyun-jin, played by Lim Ji-yeon, and Jeon Jae-joon, played by Park Sung-hoon, at the helm. Pouring chocolate into a book, forcing a kiss, that's just the gentlest thing. Because they didn't even mind taking a curling iron and a hot iron and pressing it on her body, causing her to burn. Dong-eun's happiness and dreams were taken from the day she was tortured physically and mentally. When Dong-eun denounced the crimes committed by her group of friends, the police and teachers did not listen to her. Even her only relative, her mother, also betrayed her, received money, and followed the orders of those in power. As for the teacher, because of being blinded by dirty money as well as afraid of the perpetrator's family background, he not only did I not stand up for her, but I also did not hesitate to hit and scold her. After all, it is violence that kills a person and creates a true display of revenge. The best thing the movie has done is not only the fierce retaliation, but also the battle between two factions that sometimes we don't know where the real evil is. Good lies within the evil, but sometimes the victim is the real evil. Dong-eun's revenge plot was outlined, and she cooked for 20 years. It was her indignation that made her a fearless person. From a playful girl with a passion to becoming an architect, Dong-eun's life turned to hell. At the beginning of episode 1, she arrives at the apartment complex and observes the enemy from above, holding the flower devil's breath. detail of Dong-eun's human metaphor, that she accepts becoming evil when justice does not exist. After 18 years, the bully group was almost successful. Hyun Jin became a weather forecaster and married Du Yang, a rich, educated husband. Hye Jong becomes a flight attendant. Jae Jun is the director. Sarah is a painter. Although they have been close friends for nearly 20 years, the foundation of their friendship does not come from sincerity but from interests and bonds. Dong-eun chooses to hit each person's psyche, taking advantage of their weaknesses and evoking their fears. She builds relationships with people involved in the enemy's life. In the process, Dong-eun gradually finds joy again. She and Dr. Yeo-jung fell in love, and together they healed their wounds. He is the only one who sympathizes, loves her soul pain and scars. Dong-eun's revenge also gives people goosebumps. Without blood and violence, Dong-eun wants the old close friends to face the feeling of losing everything they treasure the most. That will be the most painful, the most unhappiness that she will judge on behalf of the Supreme for those who dare to bully her. In the case of a high school teacher, Dong-eun didn't decide if he deserved to die, but let the son he was most proud of choose. The detail of the watch is very impressive. The teacher lost his status as a teacher when he took off his watch and hit the student, and his son did the same thing. He also gave up being an educator like his father. This is the ending with the most malicious trick that Dong-eun did. Amidst tragedies and dark plots, the film also explores the beauty of sincere relationships. The landlady Kong silently protects and helps Dong-eun. The high school nurse is still on her side. They help her realize that there are still many good people in a grim life. With Yeo-jung, he has a psychological and supportive mother. When she knew her son wanted to help the one he loved, she did not stop her. It can be seen that using violence to control violence will not help people regain peace, nor alleviate pain. When we obsessively pursue the good and try to adhere to moral principles. However, we ignore the fact that we are being hurt and repress our anger instincts. This is really bad behavior, that the violence we inflict on ourselves. In the drama, Dong-eun is always aware of her own revenge. What she is after is not kindness, so she always denies that she is a good person. She moves forward with the common expectations of all victims, but she doesn't take it for granted as justice. What she's after is respecting human nature, venting instead of repressing, and dispelling it, and wants to give herself an explanation for the hurt she's endured. But the glory does not advocate unprincipled purification. Do not harm innocent people remains the crux of revenge. This is also consistent with our ethical expectations. The only thing Dong-eun feels guilty about in the whole play is Yi-sol. She destroyed Yi-sol's peaceful and happy childhood and made her motherless when it was too early. Dong-eun destroyed the wonderful image of Hyun Jin's mother in her mind, causing her to lose her mother. At the same time, it also indirectly caused Yi-sol to be isolated by her friends. The writer seems to be aware of this issue. In order to strengthen the legitimacy of the theme, implemented at the plot level as the legitimacy of Dong-eun's revenge, she arranged for Yi-sol to stay next to his father, who is not of the same bloodline. Of course, from a different angle, little Yi-sol was also more or less hurt. but it seems that this is the most reasonable combination. In short, The Glory can be considered as a perfect answer to the question of human nature and morality. It fully respects human nature while at the same time showing violence from morality and morality. Although the writer of The Glory is a woman, throughout the film there are traces of patriarchal ideology everywhere. Violence involving female characters in the play is divided into 4 categories: sexual violence, physical violence, intergenerational violence, and workplace violence. Sexual violence. Dong-eun and some victims were sexually abused repeatedly or for a long time. Some even died from sexual assault. Video of Lee Sa-ra taking drugs leaked and spread. Park Hyun-jin was verbally raped by Sun Myung-oh, insulted and despised by her husband. Choi Hye-jung was even humiliated and scorned by various men and women. Physical violence mainly exists against Dong-eun, the victims, and Aunt Kang. Of course, Park Hyun-jin, Lee Sa-ra, and Choi Hye-jung were slapped and pulled by their hair. Even Choi Hye-jung was clamped around the neck with a pencil and disabled for life. Intergenerational violence, or domestic violence, is mainly the backstabbing of Dong-eun's mother with Dong-eun. The act of backstabbing and selling out the daughter of Hyun-jin's mother to Hyun-jin. A domestic violence man beat his daughter and wife. The 4th violence is mainly bullying at work, such as Choi Hye-jung and Park Hyun-jin bullying their subordinates. For the male characters, the violence is mainly power violence and superior subordinate violence, with little sexual or domestic violence, except for Yeo-jung, who has suffered emotional violence since who killed his father for a long time, and Jeon Jae-jun, who failed to get custody of his daughter. Violence involving other men is often very direct, fatal in a single blow. Violence against female characters in the film is clearly more diverse, and often accompanied by mental torture and personality insults that are so great that it is suffocating. In order to strike a balance, it is only possible to increase the level of physical harm to the male characters. It is difficult to imagine what sexual and domestic violence can do to men, especially sexual violence. The Glory acknowledges that the sexual violence experienced by women is too painful and cannot be ignored. It is undeniable that there are many successful films that are thanks to the attraction of the main cast. The Glory is no exception when it is known that this is a script written specifically for Song Hye Kyo. Since the film has not aired, it has had to change the source of public opinion. The return of the muse Song Hye Kyo was the source of controversy when her ex-husband Song Joong-ki had succeeded with Reborn Rich before. People wonder if Song Hye Kyo can succeed? Before that, she had mixed opinions about acting because We Are Breaking Up, Now We Break Up, disappointed viewers because there was nothing different and somewhat boring. However, with The Glory, this is the first time the female plays an evil person. Completely different from the roles that show the lovely, fragile, always needing protection. Moon Dong-eun is a character filled with hatred, gloom, and not finding happiness in life. Before this difficult role, Song Hye Kyo not only had to act with such depth of psychology, the U40 lady also had to constantly change her appearance to match the character. The segment of Moon Dong-eun taking off her clothes and revealing her scarred body is probably one of the scenes that left the most impression on the audience. It is known that she fasted to lose more than 10 kilograms to create the best visual effect. In addition to the flash of Moon Dong-eun, perhaps it would be too much of a disadvantage if we did not mention the other cast. Only through a few episodes and short segments, the cast plays the roles of young and old. Matched together. From appearance to acting, all are extremely talented. Each character has a unique past and personality that requires the actors to really immerse themselves in order to be able to take a complete picture of the glory. Confronting Moon Dong-eun is Park Hyun-ji, played by Lim Ji-yeon. Born into a wealthy family, her mother often used her power and money to trample others. Whether in the past or in the present, even when married and had a warm family. As soon as she met Dong-eun, her nature was still revealed. Hyun-ji always looks down on others and seems to have no feelings for others. The second person I want to mention is young Master Jae-joon, a sick and stupid rich man. Gained wealth and riches by inheriting his family fortune, but could not hide his color blindness. Jae-joon's appearance created many humorous details about his color blindness. Like how he didn't know that Little Red Riding Hood actually had blonde hair. The son looks more stupid when he is led by Park Hyun-ji to the point of having a lost child without knowing it. However, Jae-joon seems to be the unknown as well as one of the dangerous elements that will definitely fight back fiercely, shown in Part 2 of Glory. In addition to the two main villains in this group of 5, there is also the appearance of Lee Sa-ra, who comes from a well-to-do family with a religious father. She frantically searches for ways to resist her family's arrangements, especially to become a good child. The other two, Hye Jong and Myung-oh, are from poor backgrounds, volunteering to become the henchmen of Hyun-jin and Jae-joon to avoid bullying and have a better life. The typical perfect cuts of inhuman villains from the flashy guise of the perfectly crafted Hyun-jin bully. The other supporting characters built are equally impressive. The role of Dr. Yeo-jeon, who volunteered to be the love executioner, Dong-eun, or Sung Sung-il as Ha-do Yang, and Park Hyun-jin's half-good half-evil husband. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I guarantee you won't regret it. And if you've finished watching The Glory, don't hesitate to comment your feelings about the movie below. Thank you for watching today's video. If you find this video good, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support KPOP Entertainment to make more exciting videos.